Good afternoon, everyone. It has been amazing last 4 weeks to be able to share with CSN, the historically Black colleges and universities, and what they have to offer. We are honored today to close out our Black History Month with Kenneth Ruffin from Grambling State University in Louisiana. We are so excited to have him come back and share with us. He was here with us in October for our Career and Transfer Services event, and we are so pleased to have him back to share. On this panel, we also have Sonia King, we have Tommy French, Joy Lamb, Mona Johnson, and our new Chief of Staff and Diversity Officer, Lawrence Weekly. So I'll give all the people from CSN an opportunity to introduce themselves, and then I will pass it back to Mr. Ruffin. So Lawrence, I'll go ahead and let you start first.
Okay, did you say me? I'm sorry.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I just want to start out by representing the G, of course. Let me remove the G. I had to do that for Nikki Hughes. I just let her know that when she introduces Grambling, she has to put the in front of it. What a blessing today to be here. I want to thank Nikki Hughes very much for the invitation. To all of those students out there that may even have a desire one day to transfer to a historical Black college or university, whether it be the Grambling State University or any other institution in the SWAC, outside of the SWAC. Hey, let me just tell you from a personal experience, my start began right here at CSN. At that time, it was Clark County Community College. I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the academic strength, nor did I even have the knowledge of what an HBCU was. And so my start was right here. And so I say to all of you students, don't be moved by what your friends are saying. Don't be swayed by all this other jibber jabber that's going on out there. You do you, and you do what's in the best interest of you and your parents or your village or whomever, whatever works for you and your finances. But I can tell you one of the beautiful things about attending an HBCU is that they meet you right where you are. And I'm so very blessed to see my good frat brother, Kenneth Ruffin. He's been a blessing to students here in Southern Nevada for years. He's come here, Nikki Hughes, Sonia can tell you, he's been here with You Can Go to College with Dr. Alan Rowe and that team, and he has helped so many young people. As a matter of fact, man, I might get choked up on you, Anita. You got some Oprah Kleenex? Man, my good frat brother, he was very instrumental in helping my daughter attend Grambling State University, and she graduated this past May during the pandemic, with her degree. And so, Brother Ruffin, welcome once again. Thank you for being a blessing to us here in Southern Nevada. And man, you guys stay safe down there in Grambling.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that, Mr. Weekly. That means, Mr. Ruffin, you family now. We just gonna grandfather you into the CSN family. So we definitely are happy to have you here, Ms. King. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Ms. King?
Sure. Yes, my name is Sonia King, but I go by Sunny. I'm here at community college for over 20 plus years. I've been in this department, career and transfer, for almost 4 years. Like I said, I've been in all three campuses in all three different departments, but mainly it's all been about CSN students trying to make sure they achieve their goals. And thank you, Mr. Weekly and Mr. Ruffin, for attending.
Thank you, Ms. Sunny. Mona?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Ramona, go by Mona, and one of the senior specialists in Career and Transfer Services. Initially started off as a recruiter, went to advising, and now in Career and Transfer Services. I've been in Career and Transfer Services for about 1.5 years, and I've been very blessed to hear all of the different HBCUs come and present to our students. I did not graduate from an HBCU, but definitely after hearing all of the former presenters have come to, you guys provoke me to jealousy because of all of the family connectedness. And so I'm very interested in hearing Mr. Ruffin today. And again, just thank you for sharing your information, Mr. Ruffin and Mr. Weekly.
Joy?
Hello, everybody. I am Joy. I am one of the administrative assistants here in the Career and Transfer Service Department. I've been here for about almost 3 years. I actually started out as a work study student, and now I'm a full-time employee with you guys. And thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Joy. Mr. French.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name is Tommy French. I'm a senior specialist. When I'm on campus, I'm usually at the Henderson campus. That's where I'm housed at. I didn't attend the HBCU. Also, I went to the University of Oklahoma, the great Sooners. So I'm proud of them as well. But I'm looking forward to hearing the information you're going to disseminate with us. And that's about it. Thank you for being here.
And I will wrap it up. I'm Nikki Hughes. I am a senior specialist, and when I'm on campus, I am housed at the North Las Vegas campus in the Career-Services department. I came to CSN about 3.5 years ago. I worked with the Bump Up program, which is our African American Male Initiative program that is now known as Empowering Network Initiative. So it's always really important to me when I can provide opportunities for African American students to be able to show them other opportunities for them in other places if they don't feel like they belong at the traditional schools, is what I call them. As I said, this is our 4th week of doing this. I am a proud University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff graduate. So, SWAC family, we try to stay together. We talk a lot of trash amongst each other. But I can't really talk about Grambling. I have a niece there right now. She is on an academic scholarship. She's from Las Vegas. So I'm very familiar with what goes on at UNLV, and my best friend, her 2 daughters play basketball at Grambling. So I've been to Grambling's campus several times, and I really love the football stadium because I like the way it sits up on the hill, and so I'm very familiar with the campus. So, Mr. Ruffin, at this time, I will turn it over to you so you can share with us and our students the great things that you guys are doing down there at Grambling State University. Thank you.
All right. Well, how's everyone doing? I am Kenneth Ruffin. I currently serve as the Assistant Director of Admissions and Recruitment here at the Grambling State University. I'm also a proud alum of 2010, where I obtained my bachelor's degree in computer information systems. I'm originally from Los Angeles, so I'm familiar with the West Coast, and of course, I made Louisiana my home away from home. I'd like to just present a quick PowerPoint slideshow, just to share some different things about the university. And then I will allow Mr. Lawrence to ask myself some questions or some things that he felt that I missed that I should possibly share with you all. So I will share my. Are you all able to see my screen?
No.
Yes, sir.
Y'all see the PowerPoint where it says Grambling State University?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Grambling State University was founded in 1901 by Mr. Charles P. Adams, who was a graduate of Tuskegee. So we do have that HBCU family, of course. That's like a little brother, little sister. However, Grambling State University was solely founded on the basis of education when our African American ancestors were unable to attend other institutions. Grambling is located in north central Louisiana, which we're about an hour and 10 minutes away from the Texas state line, about 35 minutes from Arkansas state line, and about an hour and a half from Mississippi state line. Going straight into our admissions requirements for our freshmen tuning in, our high school students tuning in, who would possibly be freshmen. To get into the university, all you need is a 2.0. For the ACT, at 18 in English or 19 in math, and for the SAT, at 510 in math or 25 in writing and language. We are not test option for the fall. However, if you would desire to attend, you have the opportunity to enroll early for our summer session 1, which starts mid-25th, or our summer session 2, which begins June 29th. In the event that you don't want to take the ACT or SAT, we do have alternative options to help you gain admission, such as the AccuPlacer, which is a sub-exam. You will contact myself or the admissions team to set you up to take this at a local college, or you can take it at home. However, if you would like to take the exam at home, you must have a webcam because it is proctored. You can also take a college level English and or math at a local community college, or you can take a straight online course, which it ranges from about $59 to $69, and it is based on your productivity. I've had students complete the course in roughly about 5 to 6 days, and I've also had students who have taken their time and completed the course in about a month and a half. for my transfer students. So all you need is a 2.0. 2.0, 18 credit hours / units, and have completed both college level English and math and passed with a C or better. But that's not only the best part about it. If you have a 2.5 or higher, we waive your out-of-state fees. It's nothing that you have to apply for. We code it in our system once we receive your official transcript. And so that's split up a little bit between $4,500, a little bit over $4,500 each semester. However, while attending GSU, you must maintain at least a 2.5 in order to keep the out-of-state fee waiver. So the admissions requirements are simple, and I'll also provide contact information for our transfer analyst, who is Miss Chastity Gant, who will be your primary source of contact, and I will be your secondary. Miss Gant's email is GANTC as in Chastity at Graham.edu. Again, that's GANTC as in Chastity at Graham.edu. So some of our scholarships opportunities for you also for 2.5 or higher, you qualify for the out-of-state fee waiver. For my high school students tuning in, we have academic scholarships which start at a 3.0 GPA with a 24 composite ACT or an 1160 composite SAT. We have departmental scholarship opportunities, which those are internal. So you have some are offered as soon as your sophomore year, but the majority of them are offered as soon as your junior year. We have athletics, which are also departmental, internal. That would be directly through the band director, Dr. Nicole Roebuck, through any of our Division I sports teams, or our cheerleading team. In regards to all other scholarship opportunities, especially for our transfer students, you would contact Dr. Gavin Ham, who is the Director of Financial Aid. You can also go onto our website. Under the admissions tab, there is a financial aid selection, and you will be able to see a breakdown of the different scholarship opportunities that are offered, and for you to go and apply for those. So this right here is just a number of our programs, and just to go through a few of them, anyone who is looking to go into pre-med, we do have a partnership with Meharry Medical College where students have the opportunity to do a paid internship over the summer. Once you graduate with that 3.2 GPA and meet the required score on the MCAT, you have the opportunity to be conditionally accepted. So you won't have to apply to med school. At that point, you will make the transition and focus on your concentration. Grambling State University is also the only institution in Louisiana with an undergraduate cybersecurity as well as cloud computing program, which are two of our newest programs that we are extremely excited about. As President Gallo and the rest of his staff are working on different opportunities and building relationships to enhance the internship opportunities for our students within those programs. Criminal justice is our most popular program, and that is our most popular graduate program. However, once you obtain your bachelor's degree, if you would like to move back to Las Vegas and pursue your master's degree in criminal justice and move back to Las Vegas and pursue your master's degree in criminal justice, you can do so because our criminal justice program is 100% online. It's our master's program. Kinesiology, anyone who's into therapeutic recreation, possibly been a coach, PE teacher, a physical trainer, that's one of our top programs as well. You get the opportunity to work directly with our athletics. We had a number of students who have done internships with professional teams, such as the Los Angeles Rams, the Washington Redskins, the G League team in Dallas, and a number of other professional sports. Another thing, GSU is #1 in the state for producing African American computer information systems majors as well as engineering majors. So we have some great engineers that actually come out of our program. The engineering concentrations that we have are mechanical, construction, and graph and design. And graph and design is more so along the lines of architecture. That would be the closest concentration. And we also have nursing program for our nursing students. The transfer process is slightly different. So I would ask that you contact our office which I will share our office contact information just to put you in contact with the nursing department, so they can evaluate your transcript and make sure that you're on the right track as far as completing your prerequisites, because you would have to take the PEAS test and test into our nursing program. So if anyone is looking to transfer and join any sports, as I stated, we are Division I. We're in the SWAC, which is the Southwestern Athletic Conference. GSU plays in the biggest college black college football game, formerly known as the Bayou Classic. It is the Super Bowl of HBCU football, where Grambling and Southern University, some other school in South Louisiana, which is our in-state rival. We played them Thanksgiving weekend in New Orleans in the Superdome, which is the home of the New Orleans Saints. But some of our great legends, you have Coach Eddie Robb, who is the most winningest coach in college football history with 408 wins, sent over 200 players to the NFL, and GSU has the most football Hall of Famers in the state of Louisiana. So we do have more Hall of Famers than LSU. So we do most definitely like to brag about that. You have Mr. Doug Williams, who was a quarterback who played for Coach Eddie Robb, who was the first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You have Mr. Willis Reed, who's a basketball legend at GSU, and our most recent legend is Miss Kyla Hill, who recorded 3 quadruple doubles, one her junior year, one her senior year, and one professionally overseas. So she has brought a lot of attention to our basketball program. So I have to shout out our legends. And this is just our admissions contact information. I would highly advise you to follow us on our social media platforms. Then that we are very active. We try to provide a lot of updates and things that we are doing with the university. And with that being said, we do have a newly renovated bowling alley. We're currently in the process of building our one-of-a-kind digital library. We have a newly renovated intramural center where we have an Olympic-sized pool, 3 full basketball courts. Upstairs, we have a cardio workout room, a full track upstairs, a weight room downstairs, as well as a yoga and aerobics dance room. So GSU has made a lot of upgrades and renovations to our campus, and our most recent project that has been completed is our cafeteria. McCall Dining Hall has been renovated as well. All right. So just some other facts that I'd like to share about GSU. We have a little bit over 5,400 students. So your student to teacher ratio will be about 1 to 25. Depending on some of your majors, some of your classes can have as many as 7 to 8 students in a class. So you do get the opportunity to build those close-knit relationships with professors, which goes a long way when it comes for job opportunities as well as interns. We try to fill a little bit over 600 internships a year. We host 3 to 4 job and career fairs throughout the academic school year. We have a number of different companies and organizations that come and recruit our students for job opportunities, such as Amazon, IBM, Tyson Foods, Walmart, Caterpillar, Google, Apple, and you have the Dallas Police Department actually comes down and hosts a week seminar on our campus for students who would like to go into the law and criminal justice field. But I think that's about it as of right now. Oh, another thing I'd like to share, our dorms. So dorms are no longer what they used to be. We no longer have community showers and community restrooms at the end of the hallway. Our traditional style dorm is a fairly large room where it's pretty spacious, and you will share a bathroom with no more than 1 other individual, and you will have your own sink and mirror. And we also have apartment style dorms where you have a common area, which would be your living room. You have a kitchen, a full refrigerator, sink, microwave cabinet. The only thing you do not have in the kitchen is a stove, but you would have your own personal room inside the suite. So you would have 2 individuals on this side and 2 individuals on this side. These 2 share a shower and a toilet, and these 2 share a shower and toilet. Everyone has their own sink and mirror. And then you also have a double occupancy where you would just cut off the other 2 individuals and you'll have your room, your roommate room, and you all will share. You two will share the common area and the kitchen. So if I missed anything, Mr. Weekly, feel free to ask me any questions. If not, I will pass the floor to you.
Well, I think you covered a lot of the things. One of the things that Miss Nikki wanted me to talk about was just my personal experience. A lot of things changed since I attended Grambling, but over the years, I've had an opportunity to stay involved with the campus. The current president of Grambling State University, President Richard Gallo, was my classmate. We actually graduated together from Grambling, and so to see him move into that position, I was very fortunate. I had an opportunity to support him in his endeavor, and to see him go on to become the president of the campus. What a blessing. But watching my daughter go through the process, and having been there and paying tuition again, it was what an experience. But I say to students that attending an HBCU was probably one of the best things that happened in my life. Definitely instill that character, a great sense of pride, to be in a surrounding where majority of everybody looked just like you, but everybody had this common goal, and that was to achieve. That was to take your game to the next level. And what was really interesting for me, Miss Nikki, was that on the campus there is an elementary, middle school, and a high school. And so me being a senior at Grambling and having high school kids in my class, and these kids are smart as a whip, it was pretty enlightening to see that education is taken so serious, whereas here on the West Coast, I think sometimes it's taken for granted, depending on your economic surrounding or your educational village that you're in. And so having roundtables like this, bringing in speakers like Mr. Ruffin to be able to impart that wisdom onto our kids and let them know that they do have a choice. Um, I think it's a blessing. It's more than what I had when I was coming up here. When I was at CSN back in the day, no one ever came to the school to talk about an HBCU. No one ever came to the school to talk about transfer opportunities. You took a class, and hopefully it was something related to hospitality, and you got out there and aligned yourself with one of these resorts, and maybe if you're lucky to get past being a maid or a valet parker, you got an opportunity to maybe work at the front desk. So this is very special here. This conversation is very special to these students who have reached that level of eligibility to where they can transfer. We definitely want to make sure that they know that there are choices out there. UNLV, you have UNLV, you have Nevada State, you have UNR. But if you're one of those ones that's looking for a real challenge, and I'm telling you, Brother Ruffin talked about Nikki, the grade point average requirement. Some people say, well, that's why HBCUs are considered or have the type of reputation that they have, and they're not looked upon favorably around the country. Well, I flip that script and say HBCUs is the right place because it found a person like me right where I was. I had a 1.9 grade point average and had never taken the ACT or the ACT, but submitted an application. And back then, Nikki, we didn't have send me an email, send a text message.
That's right.
You had to get on the phone and pray somebody would answer. And Brother Ruffin was a little boy then. He don't know about the lady in the registrar's office just let the phone ring because she was busy. She was eating a sandwich or had walked over to Spivey's Chicken and got a two-piece. You feel me? And you finally get somebody on that phone, and they send you an application in the mail, and if you had a typewriter or one of them girls at school would type it for you, because we didn't know how to type, and they'd have whiteout all over it, right all over it, right? I major myself, right? I know Sonia said, boy, shut your mouth. But look,
Right.
I sent that application in, and lo and behold, because my best friend, my god brother, he had gone to Grambling a year before me. We graduated from high school together, but I wasn't ready. Grambling can send me this little card telling me I was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
My mama had a fit because my grandmama lived in Alexandria, about an hour and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
They had a card party. They played spades that night, and I got that acceptance letter. So I got the Grambling, Nikki, and I had a 1.9 and never taken the test before. And the lady said, "Who sent you here?" And I said, "My mama." She was like, "Baby, have a seat right here, and I'm gonna get to you." That started at about 9:30. By the time she got to me, it was about 3:15 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Registration at an HBCU. But what was I gonna do? I had already flown there. Had my trunks sitting off to this. Everything I owned was sitting right there. So I had to wait for her. She got me enrolled, put me in this dorm called Pinchback, in which it was six. What was it, Ruffin? 6 or 8 floors.
It was 8. I stayed in Pinchback too.
Yeah, I should have filed a lawsuit against them for having people live in slave quarters like that. You know what I mean? But got him pinched back, and the rest is history, man. I cried every single day. I didn't like it. There was no phones in the room. There was a payphone right outside the dorm. The line was always long, and I cried every day. And we had dorm fathers, and they worked right downstairs. And the man used to tell me, "I'll tell you, hey boy, stop all that crying and grow up. Stop being a mama's boy. Get involved in something. What you like to do?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Say that again." I said, "I don't know." He said, "Say it one more time." I said, "I don't know." He said, "Man, I like your voice. You need to go in the radio. I'm gonna take you to the radio station." That's how I became a DJ at KGRM.
Wow.
For a boy who was crying for his mama, the man who worked in the dorm saw something in me I didn't see in myself, and took me to the radio station. And by the time I finished, Miss Nikki, I graduated president of the senior class for the Student
Wow.
Government Association in the T.H. Harris Auditorium. Go ahead.
I'm just sitting here amazing, and as Mona has shared with you guys a little while ago, I always talk about the beauty of being in an HBCU, and Mr. Ruffin, you kind of have um, completed this thing about when you graduate from an HBCU, you want to go back and work for them. Every college we have had on, the person that presented went to the school and then came back and worked for the school. Yeah. And that says something about that experience. It's like you want to be there. And one of like the young lady Cecilia that is the recruiter from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, she's from Phoenix. She's also Caucasian and has just bought a house in Pine Bluff. She said, "This is my home now." So that just tells you how when you go to an HBCU, just like it's like a family, you just don't want to leave. It's just you just want to do whatever you can to just do your part. You touched a couple of things, Kenneth. I want to go back to. I just kind of wanted to share, as you said, about the AccuPlace. We do offer testing at CSN that will transfer over. So I definitely wanted to highlight that we do the testing at CSN. So students don't have to look for a school. They can do the testing at CSN. I think it's $50 for us to send them to the school, but we do offer it at CSN, so they don't have to worry about that. I also wanted to ask you a question about, especially with COVID going on, how are you able to, because sometimes we have high school students that play in the band. We haven't had band here in CCSD school districts right now. And some of our students that may have played instruments at CSN because we have been in this COVID environment. So how are you able to have those students to showcase their talents to be seen? Because we do have a lot of great bands that are here at the high schools here. So how has that been working for, as far as extracurricular activities to be able to share those with students to be able to get them to Grambling?
Yeah, so Dr. Nicole Roebuck, who is the first woman female director of the world famous Tucker Marching Band.
Wow.
Being that our band has not been active this semester due to COVID, it has opened up their schedule just a little bit. However, they're still busy, but now they're taking video auditions, whether it's Zoom or if you like to submit a video. So we have a virtual open house. Hopefully we have some people tuned in right now. or are able to tune in before tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Time. So that'll be 3 o'clock you all time. We'll have a virtual open house where we'll hear from a number of the different departments. There will be a live segment, a live Q&A segment with a couple of people out of our admissions office and some of our students. And then you would Dr. Roebuck provides that information on how to submit um, video information or audition tape to see if you can, be a part of the World Fan Tiger Marching Band.
Well, Mr. Ruffin, if you can get me a flyer or something on that event, because I do have a few contacts at CCSD with the counselors that can share that information to, because I know that they're looking for resources for their students right now. So if you definitely can get that to me, I definitely will push that out to the counselors that I've been interacting with. A couple more questions. Especially with cybersecurity, we have a great cybersecurity program here, but it's not an AA program. It actually is it's like an AAS program, which is a 2-year degree, but some of the classes might be transferable. So I was really pleased to hear that you have a cybersecurity program, because it is becoming the new age, and I don't want our students to miss out on that, because that is going to be the field of the future. And especially right now. So when you said that, I wrote that down. I was like, that was amazing, because we do need to get more African American students in those STEM programs, because there's money out there. I don't know if the Grambling State University has the Ronald McNair Scholars Program, because I know UAPB does. But I definitely wanted to ask, about that. Do you have a lot of students that are going into those programs? Because we are having this thing right now where CSN is trying to promote STEM programs. So, just trying to get students to go into those programs. So do you know if there are a lot of students that do go into those programs?
The program is steady growing. We've only had it for a year.
Okay.
So of course, when you first starting something out, it's kind of slightly trial and error. However, so much work put into it before you can actually have it as a program. But yes, the program is growing. You have a lot of students who were in management, some in computer science and some in computer information systems, who are either trying to double major or just go ahead and over and major in cybersecurity. So the demand is so high that there's more job opportunities available than there are people actually opening in the field. And just depending on your location, some of the starting salaries could be as high as $80,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's most definitely beneficial. I even thought about um, going back and looking into it and just obtain another degree.
Yeah. And Nikki, I'll tell you this: I'm really honored that we have this cybersecurity program there at Grambling. I can tell you that it had some Nevada federal support. I was able to link President Gallo up with U.S. Senator Jackie Rosen from the state of Nevada, because Jackie Rosen and the senator from Louisiana co-chaired the legislation on this piece here, because Nevada's Senator Jackie Rosen, that's her background, technology. And so she and the senator from Louisiana chaired this. And so President Gallo got an opportunity right before COVID hit to testify in support, and Grambling's name was mentioned through that testimony there in the United States Senate as one of the institutions there in Louisiana that would be considered the first to take this on. So it's a growing program. President Gallo this is kind of his baby here. So he's really excited about it. And I think it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to be a great recruiting tool for a lot of students that may be interested in this field.
Absolutely, because I definitely will share it, especially here at CSN, hey, there is a bachelor program out there. You might want to jump on over here and see what they have offered. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Ruffin, is about, well, first I want to give props, because when you said criminal justice is the biggest program, that's my degree. So I definitely was glad to hear that, because we need more African American students to get involved in criminal justice so that we can make some sure. So I definitely wanted to mention that, but actually it's a couple more things. So, CSN, we are a very diverse school. one of the things I do love about it, we have a large Hispanic population. We are an HSI, which is Hispanic Service Institution, and a Minority Service Institution. And whenever I do these events, I have been consistent with asking this question because I don't want people to get the impression that while we are definitely celebrating historically Black colleges, that they're not only for Black students, they're for everyone. And other students do take advantage of these opportunities to go to historically Black colleges because there's so many open doors for minorities, and they also know how to service minority students. So I kind of wanted to hear what is the diverse breakdown at Grambling. I'm pretty sure I know that it's predominantly African American, but do you have
Yeah,
other
most
students there as
definitely.
well?
So I don't have a percentage
Okay.
breakdown. However, I would say that a large number of students come from our West Coast, from the West Coast. So you will have a lot of students from, California, Nevada, um, Washington, and Oregon. And the West Coast is our second largest out-of-state student body population. Of course, it's Texas, then our West Coast states. But for a breakdown, I would say we have students from 42 different states and 33 different countries.
Wow.
So yeah, we have students from Canada, from Alaska, from Saudi Arabia, from Iran, from the Commonwealth of Dominica, from Nigeria, St. Lucia. You're gonna meet students from a little bit of everywhere. So for myself, coming from Los Angeles, where I really only seen a lot of African Americans and Latinos, it was other than it being a culture shock, it was just very different to be exposed to so many different other cultures. But like along with that, being involved makes your college experience, and that's part of where I received the opportunity to meet a lot of these students. I don't care what school you go to. I just tell students to get involved because college, along with learning the material inside the classroom, college is nothing but networking. Um, because a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know. And one simple phone call to be that opportunity to place you in, your dream job or, if anything of that nature. So most definitely network, get involved, join clubs and organizations. We have over 80. We have the entire Divine Nine as men. Mr. Weekly are, proud members of the Oh So Smooth Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, as well as President Richard Gallo. So I most definitely encourage students to get involved and just make the best of those 4 years. It'll be some of the best 4 years of your life.
And you just said something, you kind of segued into one thing that I was thinking. Mr. Weekly, you definitely were from Vegas, and um, Mr. Ruffin, you are from Los Angeles. My best friend lives in LA. She actually grew up in Carson. And
Okay.
so, and I grew up in the Bay Area, so I was California too. So that West Coast, I definitely understand. All our parents that probably grew up in the South were trying to send their kids back south. You're like, oh, you need to go down south. But sometimes students, um, don't want to leave home, because it's uncomfortable, and or you're scared, you're not sure if you can fit in. And I'm thankful myself, migrated down to Arkansas. Mr. Weekly came from Vegas. Mr. Ruffin, you came from Los Angeles. So that's saying, hey, there's three people from this Western region that went to an HBCU and were able to make it and succeeded. Just listening to you, Mr. Weekly, talk about your classmate is now the president. And then to look back on the history that you've made in this community, that says something about your class. And I wanted to touch on that, always, always, always you hear the stigma. Oh, HBCUs, the people don't do anything. Those, like you were talking about earlier about the GPA, Mr. Weekly. Oh, that's a low GPA. The GPA may have been low, but look what I was able to do with it when I got in there. When you got a college president that graduated from Grambling State, that says a lot about my former college president was Lawrence Davis at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. His father was the chancellor. He went to UAB and then he graduated and became the chancellor. So, don't tell me what you can't do at an HBCU. And I think, just listening to you talk about that, is something I really want to stress is don't get caught up into oh, it's not, I'll say this is not UNLV, UNR, or UCLA, USC. There's some great people that have graduated from historically black colleges that are doing some amazing things. Our vice president graduated from a historically black college, went to Howard University, and is doing great things. So I'm so glad you were talking about that. My final question before I let some of the panelists ask some questions is, um, career and transfer services. While we are definitely transfer, we're talking about transfer opportunities. The other hat that we also wear is career services. Can you talk a little bit about how students, when they graduate, their opportunities to be able to find employment and really be able to compete in the job market, and how that goes with students, and do they really utilize the career transfer services department?
Yeah, so I'll just speak on something that I tell students all the time. Grambling State University is supposed to prepare you for the real world. And Mr. Weekly can attest to that. Grambling is not going to give you anything. However, they're going to provide you with the necessary tools for you to be successful, because we want you to set a solid foundation for yourself and not only represent our university, our prestigious university, but represent yourself as well. But we do, like I stated, we try to fill a little bit over 600 internships with our career services. They do provide resume building seminars. They do provide first, second, and third level mock interviews. They do provide interview clothing if needed. Now, they're not going to build the closet. But however, if you're in need of a black suit, a dark suit, a tie, or a blazer, whatever the case may be, we do try to assist students with these things. But yes, our career services is located in the College of Business, which is our Jacob T. Stewart building on campus. And it is always open and available to students. Students do utilize it, and that is simply because now, to even get a job, you must have 2 years of experience. And then what has been what has so many people have faced in the past and still to this day is, I got a degree. I got this. This is one of the requirements I need for the job. But now the job is telling me I need 2 years of experience. So how am I going to get this job and gain the experience when you're not going to give it to me? So now it takes away. So now you have a degree but no job experience. However, you're trying to get the experience, but you don't qualify for the job now. So President Gallo has worked and his staff and just across the campus, across the board, to promote these different opportunities for students to be able to do internships just so they can qualify for those job opportunities. And then you also have alum out of a lot of all of our departments who reach out to those departments as far as job opportunities. So this is something, just for an example, for education. If we have some of our, alum who are in certain school districts that are actually looking for teachers, they'll reach out to our education department and share that information for job, for students to start looking into, so they can go ahead and start proceeding with their certifications and things of that nature.
That's awesome, because I remember it's ironic that I now live here in Vegas, but when I was at UAPB, CCSD, which is our school district here in Vegas, was actually recruiting. They actually had recruiters at our job fairs, and I always used to tell people the job fairs at HBCUs are vast. They're like, you name it, the who's who are there, to recruit students. So they will come find you. You just gotta, do your thing. Presentation is everything. You gotta sell yourself. So at this time, I'll open it up. Tommy, Mona, Joy, or Sonia, do you have any questions?
Yes, I had a question, Ms. Nikki.
Go ahead, Joy.
So my question is, since your class sizes are a lot smaller, how competitive is it to get in to your college?
It's not competitive at all. Part of it is because we have a rolling admission. So it's more so if a student declares that, that they're going to attend and what they're majoring in. So the only competitive program that we have at this time is our nursing program. And students who desire to go into nursing, they have to meet the nursing requirements as far as the incoming freshmen. Transfers are a little bit different. But even yet and still, once they come in, they will go into the pre-nursing program and have to pass the TEAS test. to get into the nursing program.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Mona or Tommy?
I have a question. So, you all talked about transferring to just being in a different state. I'm not really as familiar with Grambling as I am with Xavier in New Orleans, but in terms of students coming into your college or transferring there, how do they adjust to Grambling? Is it a difficult adjustment, or is it, they adjust pretty easy?
Um, it kind of varies because of course every individual is different. Some adapt to their surroundings much quicker than others. The transition, I would say for the most part, it is a culture shock, but it is, if you're a people person, that does make the transition a lot easier. Just being around others who are from the same, area or location that you're from brings you to a level of comfortability. Coming way out here from California, um, I didn't know anyone. I had a couple people who attended my high school who graduated the class before I did. But just joining the California club, I was able to, meet a lot of individuals who were from my same background, and then upperclassmen who were there to help and guide me and, provide me with assistance where needed. That most definitely helps with the transition. So as far as just trying to do it on your own, I wouldn't advise that. Not when you have so many individuals that are willing to lend a helping hand, and most definitely help you with that transition, make it as smooth as possible. And then as of right now, students have me. I take care of my West Coast. You know, all my kids from the West Coast. I understand that you're far from home. So I do serve as the big brother slash uncle. I try to make everything as easy as smooth as possible. I'm the ear when needed, and I'll also get on my students when needed. So yeah, I most definitely I do my part, and I would say that that's one of the best things about attending the HBCU. You don't understand the support that you'll have and the individuals that you'll have in your corner. A lot of people have people in their circle, but just because they're in your circle don't mean they're in your corner.
And I'm glad Mona asked that question because with most HBCUs, they're in smaller areas. I definitely know the Grambling area, and it definitely is a small community, but I do know that community takes care of their students. I do know that for a fact. I remember, as I said, my best friend, her daughters graduated from Grambling, and they were on the basketball team, and it was a group of ladies in that town who every year the basketball team, whoever new students, that they brought them stuff, they gave them stuff, and I just thought that was amazing. And as I said, my niece is there. I know that you provide shuttle transportation for students to get back and forth to Walmart if you don't have a vehicle. My niece loves it. I'm not even gonna lie. She really loves Grambling. I didn't think she would like it because she's from Vegas, never lived in the South, never even visited the South before she went. So whatever you guys did, and maybe Mr. Redford, you probably met her. Her name is Nichelle Brown. Maybe you were the one who she talked to because she was here at the UCAN thing. That's how Grambling became on her radar. So whatever
Oh
you
yeah,
said, yeah,
if she it was me.
okay, whatever you said made her want to go, and she loves it. She truly does love it. I definitely would say that even though it's a small environment, I think that to me is what makes the feel of HBCUs even better, is because we have to depend on each other. I didn't grow up in the dorm that have the suites now as my nieces have at Southern and Grambling. I grew up where you had maybe two roommates in the room, so it'd be a total of three, and the room was so small, had community bathrooms. But and then hate to say it, but it's true. Some people they came from very modest backgrounds. Their parents couldn't send them money. And I remember one of my best friends who lived across the hall from me, she was from St. Louis. There was a couple of people down the hall. They came from really small areas. Nobody in their family had ever went to college, so their parents didn't have money to send. We would go to the store. We had a hot plate in the room, which was illegal back then because you didn't have kitchenettes, had a microwave you would hide when the dorm mother would come around. But we would cook pancakes on Saturday because we knew that her financial aid only covered for her to eat during the week. She didn't have the weekend meal plan, but we took care of each other. And that's a bond that to this day that I could say that will go with me forever. In fact, I was sharing with Mona, one of my big brothers that I graduated with, actually graduated, he's actually older than me. He has COVID right now. He's in the hospital. We've been praying for, we had 600 people on the Facebook Live to pray for him. And they were from UAPB. And I tell people, just because you may not know anybody, when you go to an HBCU, when you leave out, you come with a family. And no matter where you go, if then you have children. Some of my son is a student at UAPB. When he went away to UAPB, there were people that took care of him that knew me. And I said that is something that I don't think you can get anywhere else. So I definitely had to say that again. In this month on talking about historically Black colleges, I'm going to always be, my co-workers will tell you, I'm a walking billboard for HBCUs. I'm always promoting whatever meeting I'm in. I'm always talking about. So when we having the, when we going to sign the agreements about the HBCUs, can we get more HBCUs on campus? I talked to Dr. Saragosa. He'll tell you, Lawrence, I told him, I said, can we have instead of them doing UCAN over at the Pearson Center, can we have it at CSN right here in the student unions? I'm all about it because I want to open that door for students so that they know that there are people out there that look like them that really do care and can be successful graduating from UAPB. With that being said, Mr. Weekly, I'll give you an opportunity if you have something to close with, and then you can pass it on to Mr. Ruffin, and then we can close out. You're on mute, Mr. Weekly.
Hey, I appreciate you, Nikki. I appreciate your words. This brings back so many memories. Mr. Ruffin is just a phenomenal, amazing young man. He's done so much for so many young people, helping their college dreams become a reality. It's just really been a blessing knowing him. I just want to thank you because, again, to give these students an opportunity to have a choice. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about. And me, little Black boy coming from West Las Vegas, first generation college graduate, not having that background meant the world to me. And if I had to do it all over again, I would have done all of my years at an HBCU, and I just try and tell young people all the time, the lack of exposure we have here on the West Coast as it relates to our HBCUs, it's we've done better than what we've done in the past, but we can still do better. And with advocates like yourself, and as long as we have, people like Brother Ruffin and the young lady that you spoke about from your alma mater, this is what's going to help. So, Brother Ruffin, thank you so much. I know you guys have had it rough down there with the weather, but man, Godspeed to you, and thank you for all you do. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Ruffin, before I close out, and I'll let you actually have the last word, I definitely want to say thank you, because I was really worried about the weather. I was like, I sent an email, but I was like, he probably don't have no power. I'm like, it's just so much.
My power did go out.
Yeah, and I was like, and then to see you come on today, and of course, Mr. Weekly, said, because you are his fraternity brother, he said, oh no, he was gonna show up. But I just want to say thank you for sacrifice, because I know the weather is really bad down there. I know that communities down there are suffering, and I know that students are dealing with some things. And the fact that you took your time to honor this commitment really means a lot to myself and the CSN family, because it is really important to us. I mean, I can't tell you how important these HBCU events have been to me over the last few weeks. I've been really excited about them. So I just didn't want to not end without saying thank you for honoring that commitment, and not only that, but sacrificing and, during a time when, your campus is dealing with a lot down there. So I definitely wanted to say that. And with that, I'll let you close us out.
I appreciate it. I kind of just want to refer back to the question about the transition. Get out your comfort zone. I understand that moving away can be difficult, but however, growth creates uncomfortability. So being out your comfort zone, yes, you might be, you're going to be uncomfortable, but however, that is the only way, or one of the only ways to see growth. So don't let, Louisiana or Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, the whole East Coast. Don't let that be a determining factor to hold you back from excelling and obtaining and excelling in education. Most definitely, the opportunity is there at HBCUs that you think that only these other institutions such as PWIs possess. HBCUs have it all. We all are strong in a number of different fields. Where I might not be strong at, I have another HBCU that has my back that is just as strong, and we all support each other. Like Ms. Hughes said, once you graduate, you gain an HBCU family. But the way this works is you gain your grand fam, then you gain your swag fam, then you gain your HBCU fam. So my thing is that with that being said, Southern University is our rival. If I apply for a job and someone from Southern University was in HR and they seen my resume, I would have an opportunity just because we share the same interest of attending an HBCU. We look out for each other. So you don't understand the networking opportunities that attending an HBCU will provide for you. And I don't even know Miss Hughes, but the relationship is there simply because she attended UAPB. My grandfather went to UAPB. My father-in-law was an ROTC professor at UAPB. So I got some ties to UAPB, but most definitely it's all love, and I look forward to anyone who tune into this to have questions. Feel free to call me. My direct office line is 318-274-6108. And my email is ruffin, Ruffin, K as in Kenneth, at gram.edu. So I look forward to hearing from you. I want to say thank you, Ms. Hughes, for even allowing me to be on this platform and share the opportunities that GSU has to offer. Thank you, Brother Weekly. It's always good to see your face, man. I can't wait to get back with you again. And most definitely, I just want to say thank you for the prayers for everyone during this difficult time that Louisiana and Texas have been facing during the weather conditions.
Well, we're here for you. If there's anything you need, Brother Ruffin, you always hit me up. Got you.
Oh, most definitely, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And, let us know, I'm always, even though I'm a UAPB alumni, a student in need, please hit me up. Maybe a student out there that's from our neck of the woods, let us know. We'll try to help them out the best way we can. I'm all for HBCU students. I don't want any student to feel out like they out there by themselves. So with that being said, I will close out this event, Mr. Weekly. I appreciate you, brother. I'm loving the connection that we are making. He's new to us, Mr. Ruffin. We just snatched him from the commissioner's office, so he's one of ours now. So
you snatched a good man.
Yeah, he's been really helping me in a lot of ways. So I'm definitely honored. And once I said Grambling, and he's been talking about he was a Gramblingite, I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna put you on. So that's what I did.
Hey, bro, Ruffin. Hey, she tough too, boy. This one right here, bro, Ruffin. She don't play. So I could not miss today, cause boy, she one of the ones. Before I even got the job, they said, if you meet anybody, you gotta meet this lady named Nikki Hughes. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Sonia King on here, I've been knowing her forever. She's a sweetheart. I don't know the other two ladies. The gentleman, I gotta meet him. I've not had the pleasure of meeting him yet. And then the other young lady, MJ, I gotta meet her. But Sonia King, please, I've been knowing her. That's my hugging partner. She gives me a hug every time she sees me.
And your baby.
And
my
baby.
daughter, Miss Fallon.
I'm going to